I don't know who needs to hear this, but you do not need to finish that BL with that annoying trope. You ever start a BL manhwa all excited only to realize, oh no, it's happening again.
It has that trope.
That trope that you've been avoiding. That's one that makes you pause and wonder why you even started reading in the first place. Yeah, today we're talking about those tropes. Hello my loves, welcome back to Ultimate Fujoshi. Today we are talking about BL manhwa tropes that I absolutely cannot stand. And some of these tropes are overused, some are just plain annoying, and some need to be thrown into the fiery pits of hell immediately. So if you're a fellow BL reader who's been personally victimized by a few tropes, let's get into it. I hate miscommunication in manhwas so much. If I had $1 for every time a BL couple refused to communicate like normal human beings, I'd be rich enough to fund my own manhwa publishing company. Why do BL manhwa couples have the worst communication skills in existence? One misunderstanding, and suddenly we have 20 chapters of unnecessary suffering. Why? It's always, oh, I saw you talking to another guy, so I'm going to assume you're cheating instead of just asking. Or I overheard something out of context, so I'm going to move to another country instead of clarifying. Or even worse, I love you, but instead of telling you, I'll just be an unbearable jerk for no reason. Sir, use your words. Half of these stories wouldn't even need a plot if the characters just sat down and had one adult conversation. Another trope I absolutely hate in BL manhwas is when the sex takes over the story. I feel like I'm going to get some smoke for this. I started reading BL because I wanted to see two equally attractive men kiss. I love a good spicy moment as much as the next person. But when the entire plot is just characters jumping each other every other chapter with zero development, now we have a problem. Usually, the manhwa starts with an interesting premise, but by chapter 10, boom, plot, never heard of her. Now it's just an endless cycle of bedroom scenes. At some point, I have to ask, are they in love or are they really just bored? And what's worse, when there's an actual conflict that needs to be addressed, but instead of talking or strategizing or doing anything productive, they just do it. Relationship problems, sex. Trauma, sex. The house is literally burning down, sex. Sir, please, priorities. A good example of this is Full Volume. Till tomorrow, I will never know what the plot of the main story was. It started off as a regular romance between neighbors, and the uncle of the bottom was included as a villain. But somehow, the already thin plot got sidetracked because the creators wanted to include every single fetish on earth into this manhwa. I am sure you've noticed that my avatar is a bear. It's because in my previous video, I admitted to being a furry and reviewed the BL manhwa that led me to that awakening. Changing into a bear looked like a good idea after that. And you know what? I really like it. Another trope I would say I hate is the love triangle. And I said it a lot, I've said this a lot in my previous videos. Look, I love a little jealousy, some tension, a spicy rival, fine. But an actual love triangle, no thank you. Why? Because one of three things always happens. It's either the second love interest is way more interesting than the main couple, and now I'm mad they got together, or the rejected character turns into a villain out of nowhere. because apparently the main character deserves to die for not choosing them, or the love triangle drags on for over 30 chapters or more when we already know who the end game is. For me, the worst part about a love triangle is that it feels like an absolute waste of time. If you just take a look at the poster of a manhwa, just a glance, you already know who the main character is going to end up with. So there's no need to read over 40 chapters just to confirm something that I already knew from the start. And this is kind of a golden rule in Korean literature, but the first person that is introduced is always the end game. We all know the second lead never wins, so why are we even doing this? I would say another trope that I absolutely hate is inconsistent art. Now, I just want to say that I respect artists. What they do is not easy. And I'm usually not too picky with art. I just love anything that looks good. And I can't draw to save my life. But when a manhwa forgets how to draw its own characters, I start asking questions. Why did the love interest start out looking like a supermodel and now suddenly look like a bootleg version of himself? Why do their faces change between panels? Why did they shrink by 2 feet overnight? Why is the length of their lightsabers changing every single panel? And don't get me started on hands. The infamous yaoi hands. Why do some of these characters have fingers longer than my future? One moment, the art is stunning, and the next, the main character looks like he was drawn from memory by me or someone who has never seen a human being before. I hate it when the uke's body is mysteriously scaled down only during sex scenes, leaving them resembling a child. Or during sex scenes, it's only the bottom that has nipples and the top is just there with an empty chest, like, what's happening? Or during mature scenes, when the bottom's body is twisted in a particular panel in an odd angle until it sort of looks like they have a figure 8 hourglass body. Come on, can we be serious for just 2 seconds, please? If you don't remember what your characters look like, how am I supposed to take them seriously? Another trope that I absolutely cannot stand is erectile dysfunction saving the relationship. This is a weirdly specific trope, but if you've read enough BL, you've surely seen it. So the top is a terrible person, but then he suddenly can't get it up with anyone except the main character. And this is what convinces him they are meant to be. Excuse me? Sir, maybe your guilt and unresolved trauma are finally catching up to you. Ever thought of that? The worst part is that the bottom will be like, wow, he can only get hard for me. Maybe he loves me. No, bestie, run! If erectile dysfunction is the only thing stopping him from hurting others, and you included, this is not romance. This is a medical condition. Should you keep reading BL despite these tropes? Obviously, yes. Listen, I complain because I care. There are so many good BL manhwas out there. But when these tropes show up, I swear my soul leaves my body. So tell me, which BL tropes make you want to throw your phone? Drop them in the comments. Let's rant together. That's it for today, my loves. If you enjoyed this chaotic roast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss my next BL rant. Until next time, stay Fujoshi fabulous. Bye!